Hello lovely people, welcome back to the farm at Freewarden. Today I'm out here in our bunny barn. I'm really glad that we got this hay stocked up for winter. This is going to be a huge help to feed our sheep. We have begun to go through a little bit of it, but we're going to start to cull some of our sheep that we are not going to need taking, we don't need to carry them through the winter. So we've got 3 wethers, and then I think we're actually probably going to get rid of our rams. However, I have exciting news. We came out last night and we found that we had already had a lamb born. And then I just came out here again today to check on the sheep's water. They needed more water, and we have another lamb. And there he is. What a cutie. Sorry about the light. I know the light is not great out here, but he's doing great. Fred is coming to say hello. Hello, Fred. Fred has many problems. He's got some sores on his head. He's got an infection in his pizzle. So Fred is probably going to go. But that's okay, Fred. You'll make tasty sausage. I know that probably freaks people out, but look, folks, there's nothing wrong with loving the animals that you eat, and even giving them some, giving them a name. There you go. Be a nice sheep. Hey, Jacques. So Jacques is one of our wethers, and I don't name these guys, but it does make it a lot easier to refer to them by the names that the kids give them. I'm not a scratching post, you know that, right? I know there's people that get really, really incensed when you name one of your livestock and then you're gonna later eat it, or you have to cull it. And that's like, how could you do that? These are not pets, these are not dogs and cats, these are sheep, hair sheep. They're specifically bred and raised not for their wool. We're not gonna keep them around for 20 years and harvest wool from them. We're going to harvest them for their meat. I understand that bothers some people. In order to sustain your life, a great act of violence and what appears to be brutality has to be engaged in order for the subsistence of life. And I think this is why people don't like to see animals killed, because it actually reminds them that their life requires the death of other living beings in order to continue, in order to sustain itself. We're all about embracing that, just recognizing the facts of the matter. We're not afraid to share it and show it. Today we are going to smoke some bacon. It is cured, it is ready for the smoker. The smoker's built and ready for the bacon. So everything has aligned, the stars are in place. It is time. We're gonna use this as our hot box. So I'm gonna plug this in, turn it up, throw some wood chunks and chips in there. We're gonna see if we can't get the wood smoking without it actually combusting using this electric fry pan. Never done this before, but I've got a friend who uses an electric oven, an electric roaster, that's right. And so that gave me the idea, well, why don't I use an electric fry pan then? Or something like an electric roaster, which the cheapest used thing I could find out there was this for 10 bucks. Not too bad. A leg was broken, so I super glued that leg back on. It seems to be holding. I guess we'll see when we fire this thing up and heat it up a bit if it's gonna hold, but even without that one leg, it still kind of sits without falling over, so should be fine either way. Let's go out and take a look at the smoker. We'll get this thing plugged in and we'll see if we can make some smoke in that thing. All right, here we have it, the smoker. It is done, it is finished. I'm excited to get to use this for the first time, see if it works. We're gonna hang meat from up there, and then we're going to smoke wood down here in this fry pan. The floor here is just 3 ash boards. These are 8 1/16 wide, 3 of them, and I had to cut about 1/4 of an inch off the last one to fit them in there, but they just sit right across there. But this thing sits up off the ground so airflow can actually get up underneath there, and we want the air to be coming in through the bottom, and then with the small amount of heat produced by the smoke here, you're gonna get airflow in from the back and in from the sides and the cracks here. It's gonna come up and it's gonna go out through predominantly that vent there. I've got a vent right there where smoke can escape, but we're also gonna get a little bit of smoke out through the top of the door there. You can see there's a bit of a crack there. So I've got ash that we actually cut and have cured and seasoned, not cured, but we've seasoned this wood from the trees that we cut last spring. So this stuff was really thin. That allowed it to dry out quickly. And let's go ahead and throw a piece on there. Ash is not generally a wood that you think of when it comes to smoking, but you can use it. There's a key though, it does have to be well seasoned. If it's wet, if it has any moisture in there, not any, but if it's got too much moisture in there, it can impart a bitter flavor to your food, or so I've read. Never done that, so I've never had the opportunity to make that mistake. Hello Ragnar, hey Poppy. Woo, it is chilly out here. My fingers are freezing. Ooh, yeah. So I wouldn't call that smoking exactly. Yeah, they're definitely a lot darker. I think what I need to do though is get these charred so that they're actually smoking and then put them in here. Alright, so we're gonna get this lit up and then we're going to put the lid on. So I should put the flame out. Wasn't quite out yet. Alright, we're gonna get a nice little fire built here. With our pieces, get those charred real good. Then once we get this nice and charred, we'll be able to extinguish the flames, starve it of oxygen, pull this back off while it's still hot enough to keep smoking, and that should give us a nice steady supply of smoke to run out of this thing. Alright, so that amount of smoke should be just right for what we're doing. And temperature in the pan is at 300. We're going to come back and check that in a little bit, see how that's doing. But that should give us a nice... Yeah, if you look up here, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I can see it. There's plenty of smoke hanging out there. So we're just gonna close this up then and see how it's doing in a few minutes. There, we're getting a good amount of smoke out of the top. I changed the direction so you could see it against the light. Okay, we just need to get those charred enough so that we can get a nice bit of smoke going in here, and then we'll extinguish that again. Fry pan is working pretty good. Oh yeah. It's probably time to add some more wood here. So what I've done is I've just taken logs, cutting them into chunks about that long, give or take, with a saw, and then I'll just take a little hatchet and mallet and I'll split them to close to the precise size that I want them, and that's been working out pretty good. So our bacon here is looking pretty good. It's nice and firm like bacon should be. We'll go ahead and run it for a total of 2 to 3 days, ideally, if we can keep the smoke going in there. It's a little difficult overnight. Last night I woke up at 4 a.m. Or just a little before 4, and I rolled back over. I was like, it's too cold out there. It was really cold last night. It's actually a pretty nice day today. We've got 32 degrees right now, barely any wind, sunny. It's a long process, but at least you don't have to deal, like if you stay on top of it before it goes out, it's pretty easy to keep it stoked. Keep adding the wood and just let it burn slowly and just smoke. So using that lid as a damper works out really good, otherwise that thing would combust, and ash burns really hot. As long as we see the smoke coming out of it, we know it's good to go. It's still working. So like when I woke up this morning, didn't see any smoke. There was char, it was hot, but there wasn't any smoke because you gotta keep adding that fresh, new seasoned, but new log to it. Otherwise, once it turns to charcoal, eventually all the smoke, all the release of energy is just gone. It's so fun. This is a fulfilling little endeavor, you know, building this, raising the pork on the land, now smoking the meat with the trees, the ash trees that grew on the property, which is going to impart kind of a mellow flavor, and if we do it right, no bitterness, just a nice mellow smoke flavor to the meat. Something way, way mellower than like a hickory. But I just get such a kick out of this. This is just a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to reaping the rewards of this whole process, from raising the pigs, cutting the trees down, splitting the wood, tending the fire, tending the smoke box, all the way to the finished product where we slice this up and fry it in our kitchen. That is going to be just such a treat. Well, that should get us through the rest of the day smoking this bacon, at least. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but we'll see. In the meantime, y'all take care, stay safe, hug somebody, God bless. Everything's gonna be okay. Peace.